Hello, my name is Grace from Grace Does Glitter, and it's the first time I remembered to record an intro when the makeup was actually done. So today I'm really excited to be doing, I think you pronounce her name Ollie J. I couldn't find a video of her saying her name, but a friend sent me this beginner makeup tutorial and was like, oh, the next time you do a, following someone else's makeup, which was a series I used to do on Instagram stories, but now I'm doing it here. She was like, maybe you should do this. And it's been a while, but I finally got to it, and this is what it ended up looking like. It's very perfect, very flawless looking makeup look for beginners. Spoiler alert, I really enjoyed this, and I feel like I learned something even though I'm not a beginner when it comes to makeup. I'm gonna treat this video both as like a tutorial, so I'm gonna be following her steps, and then she gives options for if you have oilier skin, because she has dry skin, I have oily skin. And so I took a lot of the oily skin options, and then in terms of skin prep, I offered something different. So yeah, let me know what you think if you liked this type of video. I really like learning from my peers on YouTube, and then, from all of you as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that she says she does is she starts with a moisturizer or skin prep, and she uses like a hydrating serum because she has dry skin. I do not have dry skin. I have oily skin. I have on SPF right now, and so the two things she does for skin prep, I think, is she uses a serum, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. But yeah, so she uses this Essence Watermelon Glow thing that's a lot like the Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. I'm gonna forego that step. I've tried the Essence ones before. Actually, someone used it on me when I was in a wedding, and it's very pretty. It's just a little bit too hydrating for my skin, and it would cause me to break out if I used it again. And then she uses the Pacifica Vegan Collagen Mist. I'm gonna use this Heritage Store Rosewater and Glycerin. This is gonna be a decent amount of moisturizing properties for my skin. And I'm gonna see what else she does as the next step. She puts a lot of emphasis on hydration. I think, again, this is because she has dry skin. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna say this now. I'm not trying to critique her. I just like following other people's makeup tutorials. I think this is a great tutorial. I've watched it, but I haven't like tried it yet. I'm just trying it now. So I put on the Rosewater and Glycerin, and I think that that's gonna be enough hydration for my skin. I like having a hydrated base, but I also like don't want to go overboard. So for foundation, she's using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, which she says is good for dry skin. I've never tried that one. For oily skin, she recommended the Makeup Revolution. I think it's IRL Filter foundation. I don't have that one. And I know she was trying to stick to drugstore makeup in this, but I actually don't own a drugstore foundation right now. So I'm gonna use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk because she says to go in with a soft matte foundation. And I feel like even though this has a good amount of radiance, I actually haven't used it in a really long time. This is has a pretty soft matte finish to it. So she says one pump and then go around the perimeter of the face. So she goes around the perimeter and then she blends inwards, like avoiding the sort of center. Which this is a new technique for me. I've never done this. Usually I start at the center and then I go out. And then she uses a sponge to blend it out. I might need more. That one pump didn't do much for me. Her pump looked much plumper. A plumper pump. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna need more. Meow. Sorry, that's my little buddy Moose. I'm sure he'll come say hello. Okay, trying that again. I put another pump of foundation around my face, and it might just be that this sponge is like absorbing quite a bit of the foundation. I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge because it's just my favorite. So Okay. And then she uses what's ever left to just go towards the center of the face. This foundation really disappeared on me. Okay, so the next step that she has is to use a concealer. She said it was 4 shades lighter than her skin tone. This is lighter than me. I don't know if it's 4 shades lighter, but I hesitate to mix in the white pigment because I'm already so milky. So I'm just gonna do it the way that she does it. So she has it here and here, and she uses quite a bit. Then she goes like this. And then down the bridge of the nose. I typically wouldn't do that myself because I feel like foundation tends to catch right there on me, but let's see. Okay, and then
I like to use the sharp tip.
Using the sharp tip.
And just press that in. With a concealer like this, you don't want to let it sit.
She says be really gentle with it.
It's going to dry up and it'll be.
Oops. So she says to be really gentle, like don't press too hard with the tip of the concealer sponge. I'm also sort of in a personal rut, not to share too much on here, but like I could really use a bit of a refresh of all my sort of everything. So like doing someone else's beginner makeup, maybe I need to begin again. Maybe I do. That concealer definitely is lighter than my skin tone, so I feel like that worked out. Okay, her next instruction is to use a contour that is 3 or 4 shades darker than your skin tone and cool toned. So I'm gonna use Danessa Myricks Nutcracker. This one was like really given out on me, but she also likes to take like from the brush, put it on the brush and then apply it, so don't like draw it on. I also like doing that. If you watched my last video, you will know that I like to do that with bronzer most of the time. So I'm just gonna like take this little brush from MOTD, and she, what did she say? Okay.
Now when blending
she
out
puts
contour,
it like right
I like
here.
to blend it upwards, because if you blend it down.
And then she says blend it upwards.
And then I also like to place the contour on my temples, right where I see that shadow.
On the temple where you see a shadow. That's what she says. She has a much nicer face shape than I do, so like it's very like petite and what would you say, like symmetrical. This is looking not as good as this side. Okay. So now she says to go over all of that area with the what's left on like the foundation sponge so that it all looks like it's blended in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the skin looks real perfect. I think that looks a lot better. We're setting things with powder now. So she says powder that's lighter than your skin for the under eyes. I have a translucent, like a loose translucent powder, so I'm gonna use that because I tend to have powders that are just my skin tone. I'm gonna tap the crap out of it. I'm looking at where she's applying it.
So I'm gonna go in with this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder.
She uses the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. It looks really nice. Okay. And then she kind of puts it here too. I'm not gonna lie, this powder looks pretty great. I don't think it's drugstore.
I would use a powder foundation. You can also.
Okay. Now we're using a powder that's the same color as our skin tone.
Use a pressed powder such as the
I'm gonna use this one from
This is the shape Mocha. This is usually
number
the shape
7.
that I
Okay, so she's using a big powder brush and the powder that's the same color as her skin. Just kind of like fluffing it all about. So I'm gonna do that too. And try not to move anything around. I see the benefits of this. However, there's really nothing going on like right here, and I feel like it's just gonna get more red throughout the day. Oh, a little piece of dry sugar. Also I blow my nose a lot, so okay, we're bronzing. I'm gonna use the powder version, the powder side of this Patrick Ta powder bronzer duo. She uses a tapered fluffy brush. I'm gonna use the multitask brush from Real Techniques because it's my favorite for this kind of stuff. And I'm just gonna like knock off the excess. And she places it just above the contour. And oh, she said to use circular motions, so I'm gonna make sure to do that. Let's see.
contour at the same time is going to help add warmth to your skin. So the
now that I've kind of like swirled it in, I really like the way she's applied the bronzer. I would say for me, I also like just a little bit across the nose, but I'm not gonna build that up too much. I think it's really soft the way that the circular motions have like buffed it in. I'll be less aggressive with my face in the future. So the next thing she uses is the Black Radiance blush in, I think it's Warm Berry is the shade that she used. I'm gonna use the Persona blush in Carmel because I want to. So she puts it like here and then blends up. So we'll do the same.
and take a little bit of that and all the harsh lines where that blush formed.
Okay, now she says to use the brush you used for the powder that you used on the concealer to, what'd she do?
You want to use this powder to get rid of that. This is what gives you makeup.
You want to get rid of the harsh line with the powder. Okay. I feel like I've seen a couple of people do this recently. This feels to be a new and in vogue thing to do. Whereas other people I feel like are taking the blush like all the way up to like underneath the eye. Some people are like being like, no, we gotta delineate this shit. Okay, I'm actually gonna blend in the bronzer just a little more with like a powder brush. Lightly, because she's really good at the blend, I can tell. She has the technique, the steady hand, the things I don't. Okay, now she's using a hydrating setting mist and she prefaces it by saying that her skin is dry. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk the perfection that she's created for me here, because I think it looks good. It looks a little dry here, but that's my fault. I'm gonna fix it right now. You know what, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. Okay. That was like a shower. And no, this isn't strictly a setting mist, but a lot of hydrating setting mists have glycerin in them. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a consumer with an eye. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you in for the eyebrows. So for the eyebrows, she uses I think she uses the NYX Thick It Stick It eyebrow mascara. I'm gonna use the Lawless Soft Set, Hold Up Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax in the shade Espresso. It seems like these might be similar. I think I've had the NYX one before and I liked it. My eyebrows go through a lot of eyebrow product because they're very thick. And then she uses a little, what do you call it? Eyebrow pen, also from NYX, to like fill in the eyebrows. Oops. I don't know. I'll try it. Let's see. Usually my eyebrows will eat everything I put on top of it, so. Okay, I'm not sure that did much of anything for me personally. Okay, so for the eyes, she puts a little bit of concealer on and then she sets it with powder. I had like concealer creasing on my eyes, so I blended that in. And then I'm gonna set it with the same powder that we used for, I don't remember anymore. I'm using the number 7 powder to set the eyelids. I feel like this is, I usually use like a sticky primer, so this is different from what I usually do. But for beginners, approved. I think like that makes sense. Now, she uses a bronzer on the outer part of her eye. I'm gonna use this color called Hazelnut in this True Nude palette because I really like this palette. So she says outer part.
It's gonna be a very natural eye makeup look that you can wear almost every single day, and it's going to be really easy. So I'm placing this right on my crease and blending it towards the inner corner as well. So I'm applying
and she says blending this towards the inner corner.
Towards the outer corner, just to saturate my whole crease.
And then she says to take the powder again and put it on your eyelids. Legit. This is very beginner friendly. I don't know if you heard her say that. Okay, she says Essence Lash Princess. I don't have that. I'm gonna use the Great Lengths mascara that I used in my last video. I've been really enjoying this one. Although I have to say, when I take it off at night, this isn't waterproof or anything, but I use my cellar water and it just like, there's so much of it. It's like wiping a magic marker. I've tried the Essence Lash Princess mascara that she's using and I liked it. It's a good standard mascara. I feel like it's a very solid drugstore recommendation. It does apply false lashes. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like I keep saying I'm not gonna do that. These are options that she's giving, so I'm gonna opt not to because I like the look of the mascara and I think that this looks fine. I don't typically use false lashes and they're very, very easy to mess up as a beginner. I'm sure she has a tutorial for them because I think she says that she does. We're gonna do lip liner.
I'm using this Buxom lip liner in the shade Creamy Chocolate, which is like a really dark brown shade for my lips. So I like to start by my...
Okay, so she chose an appropriate chocolate brown shade for her lips. I'm choosing the Revlon Color Stay Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Nude. Okay, and I'm gonna do what she does. Okay, line the bottom lips. I'm gonna follow this line here so that it doesn't look unruly. And then she lines the top lips and overlines a little bit. With my lips, I'd like to, I try to like dip inward more than the actual lip line. So like that, not like over. And then overline here. See how that works out. I don't really overline, so I'm like feeling this sort of like Cupid's bow area. And then I think she uses a lip gloss on top of it. I'm gonna use this lip gloss from Shaina B. This is one of my favorite lip glosses. This is called Besitos, and it's like really nice. It's got like the perfect amount of pink and peach in it. Okay, so this is the finished look. I think it looks great. All of her tips, very good. She uses a lot more powder than I typically do in a makeup routine, but I feel like I really benefited from it, and I can see what that does for like the way it looks overall. Yeah, I think this looks very professional. I would wear this to work. I am gonna wear it on my date night tonight. It was a fun tutorial. I feel like I learned something, even as a non-beginner. And it was nice to take it back to like basics of like where to apply things and how to blend them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think.